Hey, this is Perry Duff coming to you live from the West Corner, New York City, saying thank you once again for joining us. In this part 5 of our session with Tequila Fletcher, we talk about her future plans and the dirty, underhanded tactics that the beauty supply industry uses to keep Black people out. And we talk about some powerful countermeasures, in particularly one powerful countermeasure that applies only to Black people that we can utilize and other ethnicities cannot. So with that said, please join us. Thank you for being here. And as always, hit that like button, share, don't forget to leave a comment, and most of all, subscribe. Thank you and enjoy the show.
You know I'm a hustler. You know I'm a hustler. What up? Well, I'ma break it down one time. I'm the man and I'm letting y'all know. Yeah, we getting that guap, that fitted, them chips. Yeah, we stacking that dough. I said I'm a hustler, baby. You know I'm a hustler. You know I'm the man. I'm a hustler, baby. You know I'm a hustler. You know I'm the man.
Until I get to a place to where I'm in a 10,000 square foot space, like a big, huge Walmart, and I'm bringing all of my people in, and I'm, not only just, teach them how to do their job, but just literally pour into them and just encourage, like, girl, one day you can get this too, so that's just the type of person I am, just in general, period, So, like I say, one of my days, child, I'll get there and we'll look back on this conversation, be like, yeah, girl, I remember when you had your store over there. Now look at
Good.
Hey, come on now, show on out then.
Well, allow us to be the first to say we are so glad we got first dibs.
When y'all see me on boards, I'm going to be like, girl, I think she's gonna get there. I'm gonna y'all get y'all some free hand smalls and stuff like that. Yeah.
I want to take a moment to talk to you about the industry in which you was explaining how there's a lot of dirty, underhanded tactics within the industry. Especially from vendors and from manufacturers and middlemen that are. Tell us some of these dirty things that they're doing.
Okay. So let me just also clear up the fact that when the original article posted, there was it was said that I had issues with getting virgin hair, yada yada. Well, that part of it was not accurate. Actually, I've been doing business with China and India for about 15 plus years. So not only do I do hair supplies, I do other items as well that I sell on Amazon and eBay. So my issue is not with the manufacturing in China. As a matter of fact, I have a great working relationship with China. It's the US based companies that I was actually having the issue with. Like your Janet Collection, things like that. People wouldn't know those brands if I threw them out there, your old trade, so forth. I can honestly say that, one of the companies, in fact, gave me an account, which was Janet Collection, but they failed to give me the catalogs. They wouldn't give me pricing. It'll be one of them things that I felt like they was like, well, let's give her the account, but we still ain't gonna let you in. I'm talking about as far as like, okay, if this is how you say that your ordering process is, okay, so I'm gonna do exactly what you say. And when I did it, it was still an epic fail. Because like I said, they would still never give me pricing. They would still never give me none of that. I even called their headquarters. They shunned me off the phone. We're in a meeting, call us back. Like everything under the sun you can imagine, I did. So, it's to the place where you'll get to a point where you just like, forget it. So now you're actually seeking out distributors instead of straight to the manufacturer. Me, I'm all about cutting out the middleman if I have to. Now, like I tell people, I don't have all the money in the world. But at least give me the information so I can put my business plan together, because my goal is to get into distribution. That's the end goal for me to get into distribution. So that way, nobody, not only just my people, nobody will not have that problem with dealing with these companies. You know, I did have a conversation on a podcast, actually on Clubhouse, with one of the presidents of Sensational Hair. And he even admitted that, you know, there have been some things that have been going on over the years that they are not proud of as far as protecting the older accounts. And it's a thing that they are very aware of what's been going on in the community. Like, their ears are tuned in, because for one, it's potential that y'all can lose money. You know, so he's one of the younger ones that are in the company, and that, you know, he had to bring it to their attention, like, hey, we got to do something, because if we don't do something, we're going to lose our dollar. You know, because not only them as a company, they are competing with their other sisters and brother companies, like your old trades and things like that. So they were one of the ones that came forward to say, hey, we on y'all side, you know? So I can honestly say, ever since that first article, a lot has changed, but that still does not excuse the fact that you still have a lot of them out here that still will not provide the information given for us to even get in. Even if I was in a position that I could afford your minimum, you're still not giving me the application. You know, like, I've been denied on certain things. Like, you know, once they give you like a review letter, they're like, oh, you know, you've been denied, yada, yada, because of lack of information. Yeah. So it's like, you want my social. Like, you don't need my social. I got a whole business. I got Duns and Bradstreet numbers. I got EINs. What you need? You can get that, but you're not getting my Social Security number. You don't have to run things against my own personal credit. I'm not asking you for.
Right.
And I understand that somebody.
You were trying to give them access to your business credit that will show, you know, your track record. But they were trying to get into your personal credit?
Well, yeah, like on some of their applications, it does ask you for your Social Security number. And I put NA, not available. No, like, y'all don't need that personal information. So maybe that was the reason why they denied my application, because I wouldn't give them my Social Security number. Most companies ask you for your business license, your reseller's license. They just want to make sure that they can sell you this product at to be tax exempt for one, and you are going to purposely get their product in the hopes of reselling it, which is why they ask you for certain credentials. I understand that when they're asking you about, you know, do you have other credit accounts with other companies, because they want to know what your standings are with them. Okay, but if I'm new coming in, I cannot provide you with that information. But I'm not asking to get a net 30 account with you, which means that they'll front you the product and then give you 30 days to pay the bill. That's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to tell me is what your minimum is to get in this door and what I got to do to open up this account. And this is the information that they are not telling you. They want you to go through their distributors and not through the direct manufacturing. This is where I've seen the problem over the years on a lot of Black-owned beauty supply stores not being able to compete, because it always has been, one, lack of information, lack of capital. Two, our price points at some points have to be a lot higher simply because of who we're buying from. When we're buying from the distributors, we have to sell it for a lot more. So that's the whole disadvantage that we have when it comes to that. And I feel like they know if they let me in the door, it's gonna be a whole nother beast, a whole nother animal. None that I know of. And I've been searching high and low for Black full distribution, meaning you got your hair and you got your products. There are none. They are all Asian, Korean owned.
How do you think you can break into that for Black distributors?
Break capital, because once my site get done, I was gonna put out a full-fledged campaign. I know I can't go to the bank and ask them for no $1 million, because they're gonna laugh at me and they will not give it to me. So, like I said before, I have always been one of them people who understood the method of taking a product, flipping it, and getting a profit and reinvesting. That's what I plan to do with this business here. Every dollar that I get in goes back in. I don't even pay myself a salary. I pay my employees and I dump my money back into my business. because the goal is to raise my capital to be able to get to a place. Now, if so when I step back to Ultra Shake and Go and all of these companies and say, okay, if you say 30,000 is your minimum, he go 30,000. Now what's the problem? Because they try to make it seem as if the problem is the capital. But first of all, you won't even give me the information to be able to tell me what I need to get in, because they want to keep it closed to their own. And I was asked the question of how to get around it. And like I tell people, I got working community in China. I got working relationships with the manufacturer in China. Help me get to a place that I can raise the money to go to these factories in China and produce my own product. Right. The advantage I have over these other stores is I do hair. I know hair. I've been doing this ever since I was 12 years old. I can tell you what's the best out there, what's the worst out there. Chinese, they'll sell you anything. My method and my madness is I'm gonna sell you nothing but the best. So help me raise the money that I can get to a place that I can manufacture the hair my own. That way I ain't got to deal with them. They don't want the accounts, they ain't got to give me the accounts. I got my own factory in China. I can produce and make my own the best of it. Right. And I got enough stylists in the community all over the South that I can test my products with the valves to make sure everything is gonna be what it is. So I'm gonna get there, y'all. I'm gonna get there. Wow.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
110%.
100%.
Now, that is the only way. They want to keep us out because they want to, keep it within their community of people. And it's, I'm not going to really say it's sad to say, but from business to business, I understand it. Because I feel like as Blacks, we need to be more like them as well. We need to pour back into our own people. Just like you were saying before, get back to the place of where it was that Black Wall Street, where that dollar continuously circulated in that community, because y'all know that little Jew community up there in Brooklyn, they don't play. It's all right there.
I agree with you. I go throughout the Jewish communities here.
They don't play.
They are so tightly knit.
Yes, they are.
Razor blade in that community.
But they're like that with their own. I say we are the only race of people that cannot seem to get it right. But I feel like we're in a place right now to where that more of us are saying, you know what? Let's bind together. Let's come together. Let's put these dollars back in. I swear they don't really understand it. If they stop giving their money to McDonald's, I ain't saying the Black-owned McDonald's. Well, just to the McDonald's, just to the, to whomever, but our own. Put it back in that and watch and see what happens. But it's gonna have to take a full community of us. It takes all of us to get to that point and just do that. Like I don't know if it was Perry was saying about how they did it, and when they were boycotting the bus systems. When they stopped getting on them buses and they said, no, we all, whether we gotta walk, put each other in our own cars or whatever.
Oh, you watched my other video?
When they realized that they weren't getting that dollar no more, what they did, change came, right?
Yes. Yep. I think what is very important here that you have pointed out is the competitiveness.
Oh yeah,
it's
horrible.
We need to be much, much better at competing. But again, I think this is where it comes back to our particular advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in a unique position to cater to our communities in ways they can't do it.
Right.
When you think about that, we have the African American experience. They don't.
Right.
And do you honestly think they care about us shooting each other up in the hood? Do you actually think they care about the teenage pregnancy in our community? Do you think they care about the gun violence? Do you think they care about the drugs? Do you think they care about those things? No. If we show that we care, like Tyler Perry showed how he did his extensive research on Black women, and Black women are responsive to it, I think our community will be more responsive.
You You know I'm the man. I'm a hustler, baby. You know I'm a hustler. You know I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. It's been part of the plan. I don't think you understand. I see him on the gram while they flexing rubber bands. I'm working on my foreign exchanges out in Japan. $250,000 out in Philly, 50 grand in Michigan. Appearance in Atlanta, that's another 20 bands. Bring it back to the crib and invested in my daughter.
This concludes this session of the Hustle's Corner, New York City. If you are a person that's incarcerated and you have books that you like to get out and you want to share your story, come share your story on the Hustle's Corner, New York City Tales from the Vid series. If you are a person who has been wrongfully convicted of a crime that you did not commit and you want to share your story, come share your story on the Hustle's Corner, New York City Victims of the System series. If you are a person who has been self-reformed, active in the community, came out of a past nefarious life to a more positive one, and you want to share your story, come share your story on the Hustle's Corner New York City Legends of the Hood series. If you are a Black business owner and you want to share your story of how you got your business off the ground and how you faced many challenges to succeed, come share your story on the Hustle's Corner New York City Black Business Movement series. If you are a musician or an artist or a vocalist or a rap or hip hop artist and you want to share your story about your career and how you have grown it into success, come share your story on the Hustle's Corner New York City On the Grind series. And if you are a woman who has been through traumatic times in her life only to overcome them, come share your story on the Hustle's Corner New York City Lipstick Stories series. And if you're enjoying this show, please help us grow. Show your love. Like, share, leave a comment, and most of all, subscribe. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you again. This is Perry Eldell from the Hustle's Corner, New York City. Peace.